March 2019, we wanted to mark this kind of momentous occasion of communication, and we set about kind of wondering what is the best way to mark the actual event. And the first thing we did is we made contact with the Marconi family, who are based in Rome, down in Italy.
This is a very, very special event here in Ballybunion today. We are actually live here from the original site of Marconi radio station YXQ, which in March 1919 broadcasted the first telephonic voice speech transmission from here in Ballybunion to Lewisburg, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Our special visitors are Italian royalty, Marconi's royalty, his daughter Electra Marconi, and also her son Prince Marconi. And we're very honoured to have them here in Ballybunion today to celebrate the 100th anniversary of what their father's pioneering technology did for us and mankind.
She arrived to Ballybunion and was absolutely overwhelmed with what we had in place here, between the communications networks that we had set up, the unveiling of the beautiful plaque here, and we had a great time.
Okay, eventually it will get loud. So the only way that can be turned off now is by me putting this in, okay? And I can't put this in because he's inside in the building and I'm out here. So, okay? So that's the only way.
1919, an Italian radio engineer, Guglielmo Marconi, visited Ballybunion and he purchased a radio station. The station had been built in 1912 by the Universal Radio Syndicate. His reasoning for purchasing the station in Ballybunion was he wanted to do some voice transmission experiment, and the Ballybunion, the coastal side of Ballybunion, the next stop over is Canada. So they set about setting up the apparatuses and they built a massive mast, a 500 feet wooden mast, and on the date, the 19th of March 1919, a Marconi engineer named W.T. Ditcham achieved the feat of the first voice transmission across the Atlantic.
Thank you. Fantastic.
This is a very, very special event here in Ballybunion today. We are actually live here from the original site of Marconi radio station YXQ, which in March 1919 broadcasted the first telephonic voice speech transmission from here in Ballybunion to Lewisburg, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. The history associated with the radio station when Marconi came here to Ballybunion was that there was an original radio station built on site prior to 1919, in fact going back to 1912, and around the breakout of World War I, that radio station went into voluntary liquidation. That was owned by the Universal Radio Company Syndicate, and Marconi saw the opportunity to put in a voice speech transmission telephonic radio station in here to Ballybunion, and that's what he did.
Hello Canada, hello Canada. This is the Marconi valve transmitter station at Ballybunion Island. calling on a wavelength of 3,800 meters. Can you hear me? Please report signals.
This is Victor Alpha 1, Victor Alpha Sierra. Good afternoon, Princess Electra. We are reading you 5 by 9, 5 and 9, over.
Yes, we have receiving you.
Beautiful. Okay.
Echo India 100, Yankee X-Ray, Quebec. This is Victor Alpha 1, Victor Alpha Sierra. We send greetings to you, Princess Electra, from the members of the Sydney Amateur Radio Club in Cape Breton. Over.
Thank you. So we in Sydney, Cape Breton.
This is Victor Alpha 1, Victor Alpha Sierra. Your father changed the world by giving us the wireless technology that continues to enrich the lives of people everywhere. We show our gratitude by remembering his brilliant work every time we tune our radios and we send signals around the world. We wish you good health, long life and happiness. Echo India 100, Yankee X-Ray, Quebec. This is Victor Alpha 1, Victor Alpha Sierra in Cape Breton. Over.
Yes. Yes. Hello? It's Electra Marconi speaking. I would like you to know that I've been visiting and remembering my father, Guglielmo Marconi, in Blaze Bay, Nova Scotia. I've been to Halifax, to Sydney, to Table Head. I've been to all the museums, the beautiful places to remember my father, and I would like to come back again and see you. And I would love to see again Glace Bay. It's very exciting for me.
This is Victor Alpha 1, Victor Alpha Sierra. We wish to see you again, Princess Electra.
Yes.
We remember your visit very
yes,
well in
yes.
1995 and 2002 at
Yes.
the stamp launching that carried the image of your father on the stamp. Over.
Ah, thank you. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad that you remember me. I've been always wishing to come back and to see you again and see those beautiful, beautiful places that chosen by my father, Guglielmo Marconi.
Yes, I also remember you visited the house where your father and mother lived in well, not your mother, but your father anyway, in 1905 to 1907, while the Marconi Tower station was being built. I remember you visiting that residence. Over.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I know very well that house, and it's very well kept. I know the people that live in the house now, that they own the house, and they show me photographs when they come to see me in Rome, and it's very well kept, and I like to treasure it. That's wonderful.
When I see those people again, I will pass on your best wishes.
Yes.
The house is being kept in very good, authentic condition. They look after it very well. They are proud of the house and the heritage that your father left with us.
Yes, and we are always in touch.
Ok, fantastico. Bene. Good. Okay. Bene.
Let's get Billy into my lanes, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Billy, come forward and let's get you all in, please. Thank you very much. If you're looking right into my lanes now, please. What has Marconi meant to you in your lifetime?
Well, for the start, my grandfather met him. I always loved that. My grandfather met him. He was walking on the beach in Wales, and he shook hands with Marconi. He used to go up there and be taken up there by Pawnee and Trap when he'd have an insurmountable problem. He said that a walk along the tide cleared out the cobwebs. I liked it because he was Irish and you know he spoke English. He even spoke a bit of Irish. One of the big things he done was he put Hertz and all the others that had invented little bits. He put them all together and made a radio out of them. You know, like they had all found bits of it, but no one had got that far. Even Popov, now the Russian and all them. Marconi was the only one that had the.
Put all the pieces together.
All the pieces fell into place. Yeah. And so all that basically down the years was every bit I found to do with him, whether it was the bottle of whiskey or the radios. And a lot for me as well. It was good to come here. I met a lot of other collectors, you know. Had chats with people, met Electra, of course.
Yes.
This would be the early a Christian said a Marconi baby. It is appropriately named. It's one of his first commercial ventures, we'll say, in household items. It's a crystal set. I don't know how many people know what a crystal set is now. You know that there's a piece of crystal in there, and that it's a rectifier. So you just poked around with a bit of wire, and you suddenly had the cracking.
Yeah.
And then you could fine tune it with this. All you needed was an aerial and a net and a headphone.
My God.
No battery. The little bit of power it needed came out of the air. That time there was no plastic or nylon or any of that rubbish. It was mahogany and glass, solid, simple. Even today, easy enough to get back into operation. That's the first one. The V2 was a 2-valve radio about 1923. And the next one then was the V3. He added another valve, and that cost about £20.
Which was a lot of money back then.
That was a lot of money that time.
Yeah.
That was I think you'll be talking about maybe a small car.
Small car.
Yeah.
So it wasn't everyone that had it back then?
No. This would be
The elite.
This would be a doctor or somebody like that.
Marconi was known as the father of radio, and here in Ballybunion the father of radio proved that by means of his new modern telephony transmitters he could broadcast across the Atlantic from here to Dewsburg, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Being strategically located, Ballybunion YXQ radio station faced the Atlantic with no obstructing barriers or mountain ranges to prohibit the transmission.
How really important it was 100 years ago, what the importance of the event was, and how fast in that 100 years technology has progressed. And even go back to 1919, 3 years after that first broadcast, the BBC Corporation was formed. So it was just moving at a rapid pace, and of course communication now, as we know, has just gone so vast. The schools took a very active interest, and what they did was most of the schools did their own little projects on it. They did poster competitions, and then on the day they visited the Irish College, which was the original location of the station, and they saw all the artefacts, and they really got involved in it, and it was a lovely outcome of the whole event, both the publicity and the kind of transfer of knowledge to schools and the local children here.
It's like you're echoing.
So
whether here in Ireland or over there, these are the two radios we use. We have our Singer, which is VHF. Thanks. And we have a Harris, which is VHF. Watching the time, and if they're not coming out in time, you'll be radioing them. Okay guys, so 5. To make sure everything is alright. And if it...
So do you sing like...
You see this unit here? We put a cleanser into that and we hose one another down because the rivers are, well, they're not too bad now, but we do it anyway. The rivers are basically polluted, and we hose one another, we keep soup nice and clean and supple, and also we keep the bacteria out and away from you.
Okay, 1.2 meters is the length here, okay? Which is about 4 feet.
We have another mast that kind of does the same thing as this, but it's a little bit lower profile. It's 30,000 off. The other fellow says 30,000, it's 30,000. That was making it look good.
One of them says nice one.
And did you see that vehicle over there? We mind it, we have to.
So keep getting...
See the way that's gone rigid now, or virtually rigid. If I wrap them up better than that, we can carry them down the mountain now without doing them any further damage. What's your name in there?
Sean. Sean.
Are you all right there, Sean, are you?
Yeah.
I know you can get out of that. I didn't wrap you up in it properly, but that's a vacuum mattress. See, I can kick you there. You don't feel that, do you?
Not really.
No, so if we hop you off a few rocks on the way down, you're protected, so you are. Wow. If you had a broken leg, we'd have a vacuum splint on it. We have handles in each corners, but 8 people would be necessary if you were about 70 kilograms. But 8 people to carry up, and then we'd swap over every 10 minutes. So if we have about 16 people, we can manage it. Any questions, lads?
Yeah, did you bring a map? What about the mobile phone? Talking about the mobile phone noise. What's the problem with your mobile phone? Signal, you might have signal.
Three for there, and then that charges up my phone up, yeah. So it's great. So, anybody like to come walking with me?
And it's very, very special today because at the end of the day, all the emergency services that are here, Sea Rescue, Cliff and Coast Guard, the whole crew that are here, they all augment what Marconi started many years ago, was telecommunications, and they try to save lives.
Tiger. Lads, you look ridiculous.
Oh, fucking different. That looks fucking different.
Put on a new craft, the only clip on. Really light.
Ishabon, hey!
Go back and have a look at this board and see all your names so that they can remember who was here.
Left and right and forward and reverse. So one lad in his dry suit puts on the life jacket and the helmet, and he's known as the top man. And there's a
radio contact anyway as well. But if he's not out, I'd have to send in another team to see what's the problem.
We grew up with this. My father was a radio operator from Valencia Radio, and he taught me
Yeah, so that might be, they might be, that's how we are.
You have to utilize your assets. I mean, you have it.
150 euros a pop.
Oh Lord.
Fuel 360. Gear in tracks. It's not in your way.
Now you can buy smaller.
Or a little bit bigger. And let me know if the video is still playing, okay? Are we doing now?
Yeah.
Good man. So that shows you what the drone can do.
I'm just drop her!
No, don't drop her!
Ella, you're so
We won't be doing any horseplay here, lads.
All the way out car, both sides of the street. And you know what that toenail's called? 80 meters, yes.
Can't hear a word you say. The Marconis were superb in that they were so accommodating. They did radio interviews, they did news interviews for us. They loved to meet the children. Princess Electra was just fantastic with the small children. She just loved them, and she was telling the story of her father, and they were loving it. So it really was a lovely event.
Hello Canada. This is the Marconi valve transmitter station at Ballybunion Island, calling on a wavelength of 3,800 meters. Can you hear me? Please report signals.
This is Victor Alpha 1, Victor Alpha Sierra. Good afternoon, Princess Electra. We are reading you 5 by 9, 5 and 9, over.
Yes, we have receiving you.
Beautiful.
Echo India 100, Yankee X-Ray Quebec. This is Victor Alpha 1, Victor Alpha Sierra. We send greetings to you, Princess Electra, from the members of the Sydney Amateur